Hola chicos, antes de practicar con el nuevo vocabulario de Unidad 2, Lección 1, vamos a repasar todas las nuevas palabras. Go ahead and kind of treat this as a self-check quiz while we're going through, and when I pronounce the word for you in Spanish, go ahead and think of what it means in English. And maybe if you come across a word that you don't know or you don't remember, go ahead and write down that word so you make sure to study it before your vocab quiz. Bueno, vamos a empezar. El campeonato. El ciclismo. La competencia. Competir. Estar empatado. Jugar en equipo. Meter un gol. El premio. La Copa Mundial. Los Juegos Olímpicos. Los Juegos Panamericanos. Now, I know a lot of you have been wondering what the Pan American Games even are. Maybe you've never heard of them before. Well, it's actually not a new sporting event. Various countries have been hosting the Pan American Games ever since 1951. The goal was to have an Olympic-style sporting event that would bring together the different countries of the Americas, from like North America, Central America, South America, and the Caribbean. 22 different countries started out participating, and it's grown to over 42 different countries, and the number of athletes that participate has tripled. The most recent games were held in Guadalajara, Mexico in 2011, and the upcoming games will be held in Canada in 2015. Here are all of the different sporting events that will be happening at the Pan American Games in Canada in 2015. The organizing committee for the games actually is required to include all of the sports that are going to be happening in the Rio 2016 Olympic Games, but then you can also see that they have an additional 9 non-Olympic sports like karate and racquetball that are also going to be included in the Pan American Games. Bueno, ahora vamos a regresar al vocabulario. La Vuelta a Francia. La pista. La red. El uniforme. Ay, por favor. Bravo. Dale. Uy. Activo. Activa. El deportista. La deportista. Lento. Lenta. Musculoso. Musculosa. Rápido. Rápida. Es bueno. Es importante. Es necesario. Hacer ejercicio. Mantenerse en forma. saludable, seguir una dieta balanceada. Bueno, ahora vamos a practicar un poco con el vocabulario de Unidad 2, Lección 1. Necesitas sacar el paquete de práctica para que puedas escribir tus respuestas. Vamos a empezar con práctica 2, las competencias. Necesitas completar la oración con el nombre de la competencia que van a ver estas personas. Why don't you go ahead and pause the video right now so you can complete this activity. Bueno, ahora vamos a checar nuestras respuestas. Número 1. Voy a ver a los mejores deportistas del ciclismo en la Vuelta a Francia. Número 2. Vamos a Venezuela para ver a los mejores deportistas de todos los países de las Américas en los Juegos Panamericanos. Número 3. Voy a ver la Copa Mundial, es el campeonato de fútbol más importante. Y número 4. Voy a los Juegos Olímpicos para ver a todos los mejores deportistas del mundo. Were those the same answers that you got? Muy bien. Práctica número 3. Para el campeonato de fútbol, necesitas completar las oraciones con las palabras de la caja para saber qué necesitan tú y tus amigos. Why don't you go ahead and pause the video at this time so you can go ahead and complete this activity. Bueno, ahora vamos a checar nuestras respuestas. Número 1. En equipo. Número 2. Uniformes. Número 3. Una pelota. Una red. And una red does need to be your second answer because it's saying to score a goal we need blank and blank where we can score it. So the net needs to be the second answer. That's why una red has to go second. Y número 4, un premio. Hopefully you got the same answers as me. Muy bien. Ahora vamos a hacer esta práctica 4. ¿Qué recomiendas? Necesitas escribir recomendaciones para una persona que quiere ser campeón de ciclismo. Usa los bancos de palabras. I'm going to go ahead and show you the word bank that you have to choose from. Why don't you go ahead and pause the video at this time so you can go ahead and complete the activity. Ahora vamos a checar nuestras respuestas. Your answers can actually be a little bit different than mine. For instance, you could have decided to use es necesario, es importante, or es bueno for any of the 4 different issues that you were addressing. They're interchangeable for the most part, in my opinion. I picked es importante ser rápido for the first one because if you want to win a competition, it's important to be fast. I picked it's important to stay in shape for the second one because the person was talking about how they have to be riding a bike for 2 to 3 hours. When they said that they couldn't be fat, I said it was important to follow a balanced diet. But for instance, you also could have put that it's important to drink water or to eat healthy foods. There were a couple of different choices for number 3. Y número 4, when they said that they needed strong legs, I said that it was important to work out. So your answers for this one can actually be a little bit different than mine, but it's important to note that after the es importante or the es bueno or the es necesario, please notice that you use an infinitive. You do not need to conjugate that verb. Ahora vamos a hacer práctica número 1, como es. Describe a estas personas con una palabra apropiada del vocabulario. You're going to be using adjectives, it looks like, for this activity. Why don't you go ahead and pause the video at this time so you can go ahead and complete it. Bueno, ahora vamos a checar nuestras respuestas. The main thing that I needed to remember before doing this activity is that when I'm dealing with adjectives, adjectives always, always, always have to agree with the noun that they are describing. So, número uno, una persona que levanta pesas, a person who lifts weights. Tiene un cuerpo musculoso. It had to agree with un cuerpo, which is singular and masculine, so musculoso was singular and masculine. Número dos, tres and cuatro, we're all agreeing with una persona, which is feminine singular, so my adjectives you can see are all feminine and singular. Una persona que siempre gana, that always wins. Competencias de correr, es rápida. Una persona que camina muy despacio, very slowly, es lenta. Despacio is just another way to say lento. Y número cuatro, una persona que siempre hace actividades, es activa. Were those the same answers that you got? Muy bien. Ahora necesitas sacar el paquete de los videos. Vamos a ver telehistoria, escena 1. Remember, while you are watching the telehistoria, escena 1, you need to do the viewing activity. And once you have completed watching, you should go ahead and do the post-viewing activity. Feel free to watch a couple times if you need to, or pause after certain points, and we will be checking our answers together in class tomorrow.
El partido está empatado. Debés meter un gol para ganar el campeonato. Mirás la pelota, mirás la red. No. Lentamente, lentamente. ¿Así está mejor? Ay, por favor, sí, está mejor. Pero no podés hablar. Allí está la pelota. Ahora, rápidamente, mete un gol.
Dale, Mateo, dale. No podemos hacer esta película.
¿Y por qué no?
Porque es una película sobre un campeonato de fútbol. Y no tenemos uniformes, no tenemos cancha, no tenemos equipo. Y no podemos competir si no jugamos en un equipo.
Sí, es verdad.